So 2025 has been super intense. We are January 25th of 2025, and there is so much intensity out, at least where I live. I live in the United States, close to DC, and holy smokes, people seem to be very anxious and very worried, or very just, there's a lot of highs. There's a lot of intensity. There's a lot, like, either I'm really really mad and afraid, or I'm like super, like, crazy excited because politically we're about to go through a change. And I fall somewhere in the middle. In the middle, because it's difficult for me to pledge allegiance to either side of the political spectrum. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to get one side of the same coin. And it's a coin that is filled with blood, and it's a coin that is filled with violence, and it's a coin that is filled with the lack of reverence for life. The United States was built in the backs of people, and in the resources that Mother Earth has, and they have taken advantage of of life itself. Now, it's easy for me to say they have taken advantage, but at the end of the day, the European people that came to invade, Turtle Island, Aztlan, this side of the globe, their intentions were never, to learn. Their intentions were just to take, and their intentions were to destroy, and their intentions were to become owners of something that nobody owns. Like, we don't own Mother Earth. On the contrary, she's our mother, so we are part of her, and we have chosen to negate that. And we have been forced to believe that this democracy and that capitalism and that always having to conquer is a way of living. Like, that's how you get to the top. But the top is pretty fucking lonely when people are afraid of you, when you alienate. It's just a very lonely castle that has not only been built on the backs of people, but also from the resources that you continue to take from Mother Earth. You continue to see Mother Earth as a resource instead of an extension of who you are. Like, we have forgotten how to communicate with Mother Earth, with the trees, with the air, with the water, with the animals, with each, like, and every single inhabitant of this beautiful planet. We forget to see that everybody and everything has an energy, and that it has a purpose here, and we take that for granted. Some of us have been forced to forget it, and others introduced it because that's what they learned, because their home, their roots, where their ancestors are from, where they are from, they had a loss of consciousness. They forgot. They were afraid. They were afraid. They were fed fear. They were afraid, and they were controlled, and they were miserable. And the true kings and queens were replaced with these corrupt, like, poisoned by greed, and poisoned by the lack of love, and poisoned by fear. They were replaced by those kings and queens that no longer took care of their people, but instead took advantage of them. The people that came to this beautiful land had that as their legacy. They continue to live based off of that ideology. And where has it gotten them? Like the United States, where has it gotten it? People make fun of the United States because of their arrogance, and that's okay. I guess, you can live with that, but the lack of substance that comes from the United States should be something that should bring shame, really. Shame because the United States has diluted this land and has diluted the customs and the traditions that people had here, the customs and the traditions and the way of life that honored everything. We cannot have, anything from the water in the river here, in the so called James River. It's disgusting. And nobody cares about that. Nobody cares that the water is sick. Nobody cares that the water is dirty. Nobody cares. They just continue to feed the fucking machine that takes advantage of everybody, even them. Like, it's just draining energy. Like, if the inhabitants of the United States really were living from a place of love, they wouldn't be so miserable. They're stressed out, they're overworked, and always wanting more. It's about consumption, it's about taking. It's about looking outward at something that's going to give them what they lack. And if it's self-worth, if it's like joy, if it's I don't know, like, people here are lost. I mean, I'm here and I'm working every day to look within and to learn and to try and find my place in the world as somebody who doesn't just take space, but is able to put myself into service. And I'm still trying to figure that out. But I know that life is more than just about like selfish me, like filling my pockets, stocking my storage, to just like consume and consume and consume and expand and expand and expand, physically our body, but also physically, like the places that we call our home. It's filled with shit that we don't even need, shit that doesn't even bring us that like fulfillment, that happiness. Because you're gonna be happy with all of the material things that you have, and it's gonna make you happy for a moment, but then those quiet moments come whenever they're able to come, right? Because we're so busy consuming information in front of a screen. I am guilty of that. And still being in the United States, it lacks a lot. It lacks, like, I don't know if girth is the right word, but it lacks like quality. It lacks substance. It's so freaking superficial. Like, it's so, the United States has been almost like it's a disease. And I don't mean the people are a disease. I'm thinking the mentality, the culture has become so selfish and so greedy that it has penetrated to the fabric of this place, to the fabric of its people. It's become about me. They're so afraid that like immigrants are gonna come and take something that never belongs to them. It doesn't belong to them now. They're taking ownership of Mother Earth. They're taking ownership. I mean, essentially creating these I don't know, these bubbles. The United States is a huge fucking bubble. A bubble that is bound to burst. And I look forward to that. because then that gives everybody the opportunity to build a new a new way of thinking, a new way of living. It gives us the opportunity to realize that we are all one. Like, nobody is better than somebody else. Nobody is better than anybody else. Like, nobody. And that money isn't the end of all terrible things. On the other hand, like, money can be such like a destructive force. It's such a destructive force because now you're able to put a price tag even on human life. Politicians do it every day. Why do they allow for companies like Monsanto to give us, to really like force us to purchase the food that they know very well isn't good for us? Right? Like, this Eurocentric way of thinking is destroying us, and nobody needs to go back to where they came from because that's stupid. Like, we're here now. What are we gonna do now to fix the problem? Because to think that we're gonna send all the gringos back to freaking Europe, it's a naive thought. It's a thought that is only gonna create more hate and chaos. But y'all are here now, and your ancestors, who can be traced back to 1492 at least, right, decided to introduce all of this negativity into our land. They decided to try and wipe away traces of those things that they feared or that they didn't know, like my ancestors. And they did it worldwide. But you are here now. So instead of going to this new age, spirituality, and now everybody wants to be a shaman because that's, I guess, the cool thing to do. And everybody's giving out ancestral medicine because they tried it a few times and now they feel entitled to do it, instead of being so eager to have a place or to take a place that doesn't belong to you. Like, learn about yourself, learn about, like, your mind, your mental health, understand why you're so, understand why you tick the way you do, and dig a little deeper and question religion and question patriotism and question capitalism and question everything. Like, make sure that it's here to serve you and not to keep you a slave to fear or to the unknown, because it's time to break away from the same bullshit that has us continuing to spiral down. And I hope that at the end of the day, we're able to find ourselves and the place that we're meant to hold in this space and in this place and in this, like, life, this illusion. And remember that life isn't always what we think it is. A lot of it is influenced by our thoughts and our feelings. To try and think positively, holy shit, it's the hardest thing to do. Holy shit. It's hard. You'll probably lose yourself sometimes. I know that I've done it and I do it, and it feels so real. Continue to persevere, take a break, breathe, because life is going to change drastically if we want it or not. Mother Earth is elevating her vibration, and either we come with her or we continue to avoid her, the calling of her existence. Really connect with God, with spirit, with source, with whatever it is, and do not limit God. Do not limit God to some dude up in the clouds, looking down and being like, I'm gonna fucking, punish you, or like, there's so much judgment from that God that, everybody seems to believe. Okay, no, it's not everybody, but the majority of people have this, like, this notion of this God who's like watching everything and just waiting for you to like trip so that he can push you down a little harder so that you learn your lesson, versus God, the energy, God, the creator of everything, God who doesn't see you as this like thing that is broken and that needs him, but more of a God as you're an extension of that energy. You are part of that energy manifested here in this moment, in this present time. You are the manifestation of God, and you just forgot that you are. I forget that I am, because I am nobody special. I'm just somebody that has a fucking opinion and that is tired of living in that same cycle. Like my parents lived it, my I don't know. I'm tired of feeling like I am not who I am, and I am this infinite being that is here right now, who is so fortunate to have the people that she has around them, to have the people that believe in her even when she falls. Holy shit. If that doesn't fulfill me, if that doesn't like fill me, not just like with love and hope, but with the ability to see the beauty of being with these freaking beings of light that are going through this moment in time and space right next to me. They are the manifestation of the one infinite creator, and they are here with me. How cool is that? And we might not see eye to eye, and we might not agree on a lot of things, but we have common ground, and we know that we are just absolutely sacred. Sacred. We are sacred. Sacred beings. And I love that. And let's see that in each other instead of being afraid that somebody's going to take something away from you. Yes, I get that there are people who are broken and hurt and 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 have the capacity to inflict pain, and when the opportunity presents it, they take it. But not everybody's like that. We can't live through life afraid. We can't live through life afraid, because this is our experience right now. Feel who you are. Be brave. Seek and connect with yourself. Quiet your mind. Learn your thoughts. Recognize your feelings. And just practice and practice and practice, because life is different. You don't have to be angry and tired and stressed. And you don't have to